Hello, Namaste. How are you? Am I audible to you?
Yes, I can hear you.
Mhm. Okay, sit in any comfortable pose. Let's begin today's session. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Let's chant 3 times Om together. Inhale. In front of your heart center. Bow your head down and open your eyes while blinking. Namaste. So, do you have any question about yesterday's class?
No.
No questions? Okay, so yesterday we learned, what did we learn yesterday? Do you remember?
We tried several
Okay, so today we are going to move further. Yesterday we learned that back bend, like how we are going to bend from our thoracic region. Okay, the very first posture in your Ashtanga or the Hatha Yoga. Okay, in which we are going to stretch our shoulders backward, and then we're gonna have this flexion in our shoulders. Okay, so today we are going to talk about that movement of our shoulders, movement of our body. Okay, so we have got outer rotation, internal rotation, at retraction, protraction, abduction, adductions. All these are movement of your body. Okay, so in each and every posture, these movements are the key to get to get one posture per outer rotation and internal rotation. Okay, so we have got two limbs, hands and our feet and our legs. Okay, so whenever we are rotating our whenever we are pushing our elbows, like whenever our elbows are coming close to each other, this is called the outer rotation. And whenever, like, this is the outer rotation when you are turning your palms upward or turning your feet upward. Okay, so when you are rotating inward, this is called the internal rotation. Okay, this is very easy to understand, but it gets hard when your hands gets up above your head. Okay, so just take your arms up over the head and just let me know which one is the outer rotation and which one is the internal rotation. Which one is this? Is this the outer rotation or internal rotation?
This
Just
is
take your arms up. Yes.
Internal rotation, outer.
No. This is the outer rotation. See, we get confused in this. Okay, so this is the outer rotation when your palms are facing upward. Okay, basically technically your palms does not influence that rotation of your arms, but your palms that won't decide like which rotation it should be. Even after I'm rotating my hands outward, I can turn my palms forward. Okay, that will not influence, that will not disturb my shoulder rotation. Okay, so make sure your hands are rotating from the top. Okay, palms are just for the just for that it works as an indicator that's going to help you out to rotate outward. Okay, so when you're taking your arms upward, you make sure your hands are rotating outward like this. Your elbows are coming close to each other. When your elbows are going away from each other, this is the internal rotation of your arms. Okay, yesterday as I told you that if your hands are rotating inward in the back bend, your shoulder will start to collapse forward. Okay, when your shoulders start to collapse forward, you can never achieve a back bend. Are you getting me what I mean? See, when your shoulders are rotating inward, you will start to collapse inward, and your shoulder blade does not allow you to extend your spine backward. All right? Have I made myself clear in this?
Yes, yes. I'm just and not how to say. I can't write down everything.
Yeah,
My
I
book
got it.
and maybe quick.
Okay, so this is the outer rotation, this is the internal rotation. Just understand this, okay? Just write down whatever you want there to make it easier to understand.
If our elbows
Are moving away from each other, is moving out. This is called internal rotation. Yes. So when your elbows are coming close to each other, this is the outer rotation of your arms. Namaste, Sneha ji. Okay, so let's move on to other rotation of your hands. Okay, so Sneha ji, today we are going to go through that rotation of our hands. So how many rotation we have? We have almost 6 rotation in our arms. Okay, so this is called outer rotation when your palms are turning upward. When your palms are facing downward, this is called the internal rotation of your arms. Okay, as we did yesterday back bend. So in the back bend, we need to have this outer rotation. If you're rotating our arms inward, your shoulder will start to collapse inward, and then your shoulder does not allow your spine to extend backward. Sorry. So have you understood this one? Okay, let's move on to the other rotation of your arms. Okay, so when your hands are moving away from the center of your body, this is called abduction. Okay, when your hands are coming close to your body, this is called adduction. All right, AB, abduction when it's moving away from each other, adduction when your hands are coming close to each other. Okay, this is called adduction. Okay, so in this adduction and this abduction movement, which muscles helps us out, that's we are going to understand. Okay, when you're moving your hands upward, right, your triceps and your deltoids, they are working a lot right here because the gravitational force is pulling you down, but at the same time we're resisting the gravitational force, so that we can hold here. So what does that mean? We are working out on that strengthening of our particular, like this region of your muscle, deltoid or triceps. All right, so when you're taking your arms upward, your deltoid muscles are working out. Your biceps or inner arm muscles, they are not working out. Your triceps and your deltoids are working out to lift your palm upward or your hand upward. Okay, so the same thing happens to your leg. When your legs are moving upward like this, so your outer hip muscles is going to work out. They are going to be contracted, and that is helping us to lift our leg upward to the right side. Okay, if you're talking about to the right leg. So when your legs are is being lifted towards your right side, that means your outer hip muscles are working, right? So these are called abductor. Okay, so when your muscles are pulling you upward, this is called abductors. When your legs or your arm is moving down to the center of the gravity, that is called abduction or abductor muscles. They work out at the time. Did you guys understand what I mean? Yes, Neha ji?
Yes, sir, understood.
Yes. See, when your legs are coming close to the center of the gravity, that is called abduction, and your inner thigh muscles are also called, sorry, adduction, when your inner thigh muscles are called adductor muscles. Okay, so this is how we are going to understand these movement of our arms, these movement of our legs. Okay, so when your hands move upward like this, what do we call this? Is this flexion or extension?
It's a flexion.
When you're taking it upward, when your hands is moving backward like this is called extension of your arms. Okay, so we need to have enough flexion in your shoulders, in your arms, and enough extension of your arms. That is, then you can increase the mobility. Once you have all these, 6 actions, 6 rotation of your arms, then it is called that, perfect mobility of your shoulders. Okay, if you are going to the gym and then working out a lot, and you did not work out on that mobility part of your shoulders joint, then it will be very hard to lift your palm, lift your hand till here even. Okay, you won't even take your hand upward above your head, or not even extend backward. Okay, make sure you're working out on these 6 actions all together all the time. Okay, there are 3 actions, like outer rotation, internal rotation, 2, second flexion, extension, 3, 4, and abduction and adduction, 5, 6. Pelin, do you want to ask anything about this movement of your hands?
I didn't write down which 3 extents we have.
Yeah, extension when your hands move downward like this. This is called extension of your shoulder. When your hand move upward, this is called flexion.
Yes, I mean 3 extents. One is when hands down, then.
And the other is flexion, when your hand move upward.
If we have 3 extents, what are they?
Yeah, what did you say?
What are the 3 extents?
3 extents?
Yes.
Yeah, 3 extents means I did not understand. Sorry.
Maybe I didn't understand, but I heard 3 extents. What extents did you mean? I didn't understand.
Yeah, I said, see, you should have enough extension and flexion in your arms. Okay, if you are not able to take your hands upward above your head, then it means you need to work out on that flexion of your shoulders. If you cannot take your hand backward, that means you need to work out on that extension of your shoulders. Okay, so once you have all these 6 actions in your hands like properly, then it is called the perfect mobility in your shoulders. Okay.
Sir, can you repeat all 6, like flexion, extension,
Flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, and outer rotation and internal rotation of your arms.
Okay.
Okay, when we combine all these actions together, what happens? Let's see. See, this is called flexion, this is called extension of your arms. When you take your arms backward and interlock your fingers, right? This is also extension of your shoulder, or extension of your arms. And then after this, what do? We roll our shoulders back, and then we try to rotate outward. Okay, observe your hands, just take your arms backward, then you will understand. Interlock your fingers, roll your shoulders back, open up your chest, and then push your hands away from your body. What do you feel like? What is happening there? This is called extension, when you're taking your arms backward. And what other action is happening in your arms? Observe, and then please tell me.
Yeah, I see the stretch here sideways and here.
Yes, you will have a stretch, but what other action is happening there? Outer rotation, internal rotation? Like I have given you 2 options, outer rotation or internal rotation.
It's internal?
No, it's the outer rotation. See, this is the outer rotation.
So it's
about shoulders.
About hand rotation, right?
Yeah, we are talking about hand rotation. See, it's happening something like this, right? So this is the outer rotation of the arm. When your hands are moving like this is the internal rotation.
Okay, I'm doing this like so it's outer or
Yes. See, just look at your like top of your arms. That is when you will understand. Okay. Just rotate backward and then feel that outer rotation in your arms. Did you understand, Snehaji?
yes.
Yes. So outer rotation at the same time we are extending our arms backward. Okay. So if you're combining both of them, then again it's going to increase nice stability, nice mobility in our shoulders. Okay. Let's move on to our lower limbs on our legs. So it also has the same actions: abduction, adduction, outer rotation, extension, and flexion. Okay. See, when your legs are moving upward, what do we call this?
Flexion.
Flexion. Okay. But if you're bending your knee, this is called flexion. Okay. If you're reaching your knee upward, this is called extension of your knee joint. But when you're taking your entire leg upward, this is called flexion. When your leg is moving backward, that is called extension of your pelvis girdle. Basically, we are talking about the pelvis girdle and shoulder socket. Okay, so don't consider it as just your arms or as just your legs only.
Do you repeat, please? When we bend knee, is it?
When we bend our knee, then we are talking about knee joint. Okay, your knee joint is flexing. When you are straightening our leg forward, this is called extension of your knee joint. Okay. And one more thing about these joint movements: excess of everything is harmful. Everybody knows this, right? So if you're extending your spine too much backward, or if you're extending your arms too much backward, then it's going to be hyper extended. Okay, make sure you should know what is that limited range of motion you have got in your body. Okay, well, that range of motion that gets changed person to person. Many people, they are already flexible, many people are not flexible. If one is already flexible, that is supposed to have, that person should have to understand what is that limited range of motion. If he's already flexible from his knee joint and he's extending too much forward, uh, then he will get his knees backward. That is called hyper extended knees. Do you guys know about hyperextended knees, hyperextended elbows?
No, sir.
No? See, but in the hyperextended knees, what's going to happen? When you see, this is also extension of your knee joint, right? This is also the extension of the knee joint. In hyperextended knees, people, what's going to happen to them when they are trying to extend their knee, and they will lift their heels off the floor. They will feel gap over here, and their extension of the knee will be hyper. Okay, this is called hyperextension. When your knees are pushed down and your feet are uplifted.
Okay.
Did you get me what I mean?
Yes, sir.
When you have extended amount of range of motion in your knee joint.
The gap between like floor and your heel.
Yeah, the gap between your floor and your heel, that is called hyperextension of your knee joint. Same thing happened to your arms. If your hands are not in one line, if your hand is moving forward and your shoulder and your wrist is one line, but your elbow is moving to this side, like slight slanted line would be there in your arms. That is called hyperextension of your elbows. Okay.
So what exercise can cure a hyperextension knee or hyperextension elbow, especially elbow?
See, if you have hyperextended elbows, it also happens, genetically. But if it's happening because of the exercise or if you have worked out a lot on your arms or on your legs, then it may happen. Okay, so how we are going to cure them? So we cannot keep that elbows in the same line, so that to hold it back in the center of your arms. What can we do? We can engage, we can build the muscles in your triceps and biceps so that it can hold you back. Same thing happens to your knee. If you have hyperextended knees, you can work out on your thighs, you can work out on your hamstring and your calf muscles. This is your thigh muscle, this is your hamstring muscle, and this is your calf muscle on the lower leg. This one. Okay. So we are going to work on that strengthening of our that particular region muscle, so that it can hold your knee back, it can hold your elbows back. Okay, many times what happen, people they feel a lot of pain on their knee joint, right, and on their elbow joint, because our knee is bearing entire body weight, right? So if you don't have enough strength on your thighs, on your hamstring, then that body weight is directly going to get into knee joint. Okay, because of that hyperextension, you can never find that strength on your knee joint. Okay, so what's going to happen, that body weight will be remain on your knee, and then it will start to hurt. Instead, what can we do? We are going to build the strength on our thighs, we are going to build the strength on our hamstring. That is, then that body weight is going to shift over your thighs, over your hamstring, then there will be less pressure on your knee joint. Okay, or like one another reason we have, we have like we have for the knee pain is your lower back, lack of the strength of it on your lower back. If you don't have enough strength on your lower back, again you will definitely have that pain on your knee joint and your lower back too. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to build the strength on our hips, we need to build the strength on our lower back, so that the body weight won't shift over your knee joint only. That will be shifted, like shifting on your lower back, like half of the body weight will be shifted over your thighs and hamstring, and then there will be 20 or 30% body weight will be over your knee joint. Okay, so that's how we are going to cure these hyperextension or extended elbows. Okay, when it comes to your elbows, again make sure your biceps and triceps are engaged, and don't extend your elbow. Make sure you're not extending your elbow, slightly bend your elbow like this. Okay, let's suppose we have got hyperextended elbows. When you come to the plank, you will have this hyperextension. What you have to do, bend your elbows and rotate your hands slight inward like this. If your hands are like this, you have to bend your elbow and then rotate them slight in, and then hold the position of this plank. Okay, that's how we are going to work out for them. Now write it down whatever you want, or if you have any question about these actions of your legs and your arms, let me know, please.
Understood.
Okay, so let's move further to our other actions in our body. Okay, these are your scapulas or shoulder blades. You know the shoulder blades behind your upper back. Okay, when you're moving your hands forward and back, this is happening because of the shoulder blades. Okay, so when you are bringing your scapulas together like this, that is also called wings. Can you see can you observe that wing behind your back? So
Yes.
these are your scapula or shoulder blades. Okay, so when you're pushing your hands forward, your scapulas are moving away from each other. But when you're bringing your hands back beside your chest, this is called the retraction, this is called the protraction. When your shoulder blades are away from each other, this is called protraction, this is called retraction. Okay, so this movement is also important to understand. and we have to work out on these movements too. This is protraction, this is retraction. If you don't work out over here, again you will start to have that friction on your shoulder blades. Okay, so once your ligament or that fascia inside there in your shoulder blade, that will start to get stiff, and if it does not give it it does not if it does not have enough flexibility, then again it's going to pinch your it's going to pinch your nerves. It's going to hold your shoulder blades back on its place. Okay, so we have to have enough flexibility in our scapulas too. Just keep on moving forward and back like this, like at least 5 or 10 movements. Give your scapulas 5 or 10 movements in a day, so that they don't get stiff. They'll be always flexible as it is. Okay. Protraction and retraction. Don't get confusing between both of them. Okay. Now let's move further to our elevation and depression of the shoulder. Okay. So when you're lifting your shoulders up, this is called elevation. When you're depressing your shoulders down, this is called the depression of the shoulder. Okay. One more time. Make sure whenever you're elevating, you're not bringing your elbows close to the ear. Okay. You have to elevate your entire spine and elevate your shoulders at the same time. Okay. Don't be just like elevating your shoulders and bringing your shoulders close to the ear. This is not the elevation. You have to keep your spine straight, lengthening upward, and then reach your shoulders high. This is called the elevation of your shoulders. When you're rolling your shoulders back and depress down, this is called the depression. In Samasthiti, like we have to be in Ashtanga Vinyasa, we have to be engaged from top to bottom, bottom to top. Okay, so how we usually engage, from the toes, we engage from our thighs, we engage from our hips, and we engage from our abdomen, and we roll our shoulders back. This rotation of your shoulders, and then depress your shoulders down and be engaged like this. This is your Samasthiti, and chin parallel to the ground like this, and looking front. Okay, this is the position of your Samasthiti. Have you understood this elevation and depression of the shoulders?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, if you want to become a flexible, first we have to have enough flexibility, enough mobility in our shoulders. Then this is this is kind of beginner level. Just first stretch your shoulders, then move on to your upper back, then move on to your lower back, then move on to your hips, then move on to your ankle movements. Okay, so once you are open from the shoulders, you can easily bend back, you can easily bend forward. Then there will definitely be no restriction to deepen the posture. Okay, and second thing, your forward bend. Forward bend.
Sir, I cannot hear your voice.
Hello.
Yeah, now I can hear.
Interruption.
Yeah, what I'm saying, once you have got enough flexibility in your hamstring, on your lower back and your hips, the foundation of your all poses are forward bend. Once you have good forward bend, you can achieve any posture easily. Okay, because in the forward bend, what actually like to happen, your entire posterior group of muscles. Posterior group of muscles means your backside muscles, your hamstring, your calf, your hips, your lower back, your thoracic, your neck, all together are ultimately stretching together. Ultimately stretching. Okay, so in forward bend, your entire body is stretching from top to bottom. Okay, once you have good forward bend, you can easily achieve other poses. Okay, forward bend is a sort of key to achieve other poses. Okay, yes. Okay, let's talk about this always stretch from the insertion point. Okay, it does not stretch from the origin point. Do you know the insertion point? Insertion point means ending point. Okay, origin point means that opening point. Okay, so in the forward bend, where do you feel the where do you feel that maximum stretch? In the forward bend, where do you feel the maximum stretch? On your hamstring, on your hips, or on your lower back? Where?
In the knees, maybe.
In the knees, right? So that stretch is happening on your hamstring basically. Okay, hamstring start from your hip to your knee joint, right? So whenever we are stretching our hamstring, we always feel that stretch on our incision point. Okay, this is the tendency of our muscle. Even if you are stretching our biceps, right, that maximum stretch that comes over your incision point, not the origin point. Okay, you will never feel stretch on the origin point. Okay, that will definitely be there only on the incision point. Just for instance, just take the rubber. When you're stretching, you will feel that maximum stretching from to that incision point. Okay, not on the origin point, because origin point is stable. You are stretching from the ending point. That's why we have that stretch only on the incision. Okay, same thing happens to your hamstring. Same thing happens to your lower back, abdomen, thighs, everywhere. Okay, so be careful of that incision point or that that stretches whenever you are in any posture. Let's move on to our hips. Now we are talking about forward bend. Okay, so in the forward bend, what do we usually do? We try to stretch from our hamstring, but we never try to stretch our hips, our lower back, our thoracic region, right? Do you guys feel stretch on your lower back when you bend forward? Where do you feel the maximum stretch? On your hamstring or lower back?
Yeah, when we bend forward, lower back and
The
I
hamstring.
don't know what it's called, but I feel a stretch this part, like in
Yes,
back
this is your back of
back
your
side
knee.
of
Yes,
knee.
yeah. This is your hamstring. Basically, this is your
Okay.
hamstring that is start from your hip to your. This is the incision point of your knee joint.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, incision point of a hamstring joint, hamstring muscle. Okay, so if we don't feel any stretch on our lower back, we don't feel any stretch on our hips, and we are just feeling stretch on our hamstring, it means we are doing something wrong. Okay, in the forward bend, because your lower back, your hips, and your hamstring, they all are ultimately connected to each other. Okay, initially we'll have to stretch on our lower back. That's why in yoga class you may have heard that whether you are grabbing your big toes or not, that does not matter, but you have to keep your spine straight, right? Have you heard Snehaji this before?
Yes.
Just keep your spine straight, no matter whether your legs are straight or not, right? We usually say like this. Why? Because we want you to feel the stretch on your lower back first. Okay, once your spine gets lengthened or gets enough flexibility, then we move on to our hips, then we move on to our hamstring, because hamstrings stretch we can easily find, we can easily get to there. But if you don't feel stretch on our lower back and just keep on trying to bend forward, then there is no benefit of doing the forward bend. Okay, no matter how hard you practice.
So what are the exercise to flexion your like backbone or like your spine? Like
now I'm going to tell you that how we are going to get to the posture. Okay, so have you understood this thing? First we have to stretch our lower back, hips, and then hamstring. Okay, so let's move on to that approaches of the forward bend, how we are going to enter. So Just look at me here. First observe, and then I want you to do the posture. Okay, first what you have to do, keep your legs open, hip width apart. In the forward bend, we need to have internal rotation in our legs. Okay, so first keep your legs open so that you can freely move your legs inward. So from here, first we will move our hips backward, like away from the center line of your body. Now bend down, bend down, bend down with a straight leg as long as your spine is straight. Once you feel like you're making hump on your back, bend your legs at the knee. Okay, just keep your spine straight, bend forward, 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 and try to touch your abdomen on your thighs. Touch your abdomen on your thighs. If you cannot touch, then bend your knees, slightly bend your knees and touch your abdomen. Look front, don't look down, don't look down. The moment when you look down, you will make hump. Okay, don't look down, look front. Bend your elbows, adjust your abdomen on your thighs, and look front. Okay, from here, press your palms on the floor, keep your legs bent. Press your palms on the floor, and then rotate your legs inward. Okay, lift your chest up, press your palms on the floor, and try to push your heels down on your mat, and try to rotate your legs in from the top. And feel this internal rotation in your hips. You will feel that, that rotation on your hips. Stretch forward and hold here. Keep pressing your palms on your mat. Press your palms on your mat. Bend your legs at the knee. Look front, chest open, spine straight, and feel the stretch on your hamstrings, on your hips. Stretch. Look front, chest open, and hold. 1, 2. So when you are here in this position, just bring the awareness on your hips, like how it is extending. Now you are extending your glutes, maximus, minimus, and medius together. Just keep on bending down. Don't straighten your legs. Keep your legs bent. You won't feel any stretch on your hamstring now. You will just feel the stretch on your lower back and your hips only, right? Now inhale all the way, come up high, and then exhale, release down. So where did you feel the stretch?
I feel it's right here, this part more.
And in your hips?
No, I don't.
Okay, if you do not feel any stretch on your hips, then you can use like something in front of you, right? You can use the chair or anything in front, and then take the one arm distance from the chair. All right. Anything like whatever is there, table, chair, or window, anything. You just need to straighten your arms forward. Straighten your arms forward, and keep on walking your hands forward, 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 and stretch your sideways. Stretch. Now bend your legs at the knee, and then move your hips back. From here, push your hips back. Snehaji, your hip is moving forward. Move your hips back. आपकी चेयर स्लाइड हो रही है. Find something stable, object. Now move your hips back. Make sure your hip is not moving forward like this. Okay, your hip is moving backward. Your hip is moving backward, and bend your legs at the knee. Okay, stretch your arms forward, bend your legs at the knee, and then move your hips back. And look in between your both hands. Your hands are coming close to the ears. स्नेहा जी अपने फीट को थोड़ा आगे करिए. स्नेहा जी अपने फीट को आगे करिए थोड़ा सा. हाँ, आपके फीट थोड़ा सा आगे होने चाहिए. आगे आगे, हाँ. नहीं, ऐसे नहीं. आगे 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 करो. हाथ पैरों को आगे करो. बस पैरों को और आगे करो. थोड़ा सा और आगे. Bring them move forward. Now bend your legs. थोड़ा सा bend करो legs. Bend your legs, and then move your hips back. Hips को push करो पीछे की तरफ. Push your hips back. More back, more back, more back, and look front. In between your hands, and feel the stretch on your outer hip. on your side waist. Palanji, are you feeling it stretch? Yeah. Now stay. 1. Deepen the posture as you bend your legs. 2, 3, 4, 5. Stay, stay, stay. Keep pushing your hips back. 8. And rotate your legs inward from the top. Okay, don't rotate your knee only. Rotate your leg in from the top of your leg. Okay, from the pelvis girdle. 6, 5. Look front. Keep on stretching your hips. 3. Keep pushing your hips back. 2 and 1. Now straighten your legs. Straighten your legs. अपने legs को straight करो. Straighten your legs. Again push your hips back. Now you will feel the stretch on your hamstring. Now hold. 1. Look front. Keep pushing your hips back. 2. 3. 4. 5. And then slowly, gently get back to the neutral position and stand up straight. Take your legs, take your thighs. So where did you feel the stretch, guys?
Yeah, so I feel stretch this hip part and this part and inner
thigh. Okay. So this is how we have to progress in the forward bend. Okay. In the beginning, use the chair. See, these props are going to help you out deep in the posture. Okay. So don't feel like if you are using the prop, it means like we are not capable to do the posture. Okay. These props still be used even after we are flexing. Okay. I do feel the same stretch. If you don't use the props or blocks or chairs, anything, then you won't deepen the posture. Okay. Always try to use the block, use the chair or blocks, wall or steps, anything. Always try to use them. This is going to help you out. Develop your practice. Okay. So, any question that you want to ask about this forward bend?
So when we are doing a forward bending, it's supposed to we have a feeling a stretch on our lower back, our thigh and hamstring, right?
Yes.
This is the right.
Not on our thighs, but on our hips and our lower back and
Lower
hamstring.
back.
That will be good job. Any other question that you want to ask about? Okay, so what are the benefits of doing this posture?
That we may get we will get a flexibility in our spine.
We'll get the flexibility. If you have lower back pain because of the stiffness, okay. So if you have got stiffness on your lower back, you may have seen people who work, who work a lot in the desk. So they are always supposed to do this posture forward bend. Okay. If you have slip disc, then don't try. Do you know slip disc? It's slip disc on your lower back. Okay. If you have slip disc, then don't try. But if it is, if you have pain, then because of the stiffness, then try to go for the forward bend. Okay. And what are the contraindications of the posture? Who are not supposed to do the posture? If you have high blood pressure, then don't try the posture, but don't do that much intense. Okay, intensity of the posture is going to be decreased. You can always take the support of the wall in that time. Okay. Who else is not supposed to do?
Hernia.
Hernia. In hernia, again, yes. So in hernia, basically we avoid back bends, but still, if you are going for the intensity, like intense posture of the forward bend, then we have to avoid. Okay, you can make it easier one with the help of props. If you have migraine at that time, don't perform this forward bend because the blood flows to your head and then it can bring you a dizziness. And if you have heart problem, then make sure you are not doing it. Again, the intensity of the posture is going to be decreased. Okay, otherwise forward bends are always good for the body. Okay, the better forward fold you will have, the better understanding you will have in your muscle. At the same time, when we are bending forward, we stretch our maximum muscle from the back side. Okay, just keep on doing forward bend if you don't have any problem. Until it gets, until it is not, severed. If it's severed, then don't try. Hold there. How we are going to get to that forward bend, and make sure you keep these all elements in the forward bend, like in your mind, in the forward bend. Okay. Okay, then let's finish today's session. Sit in any comfortable pose and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Long exhale out. Let's chant one Om followed by 3 Shanti. Inhale. Shanti. 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 Join your hands together in front of your heart center. Bow your head down and open your eyes while blinking. Namaste to everyone. Okay, enjoy your day. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me here. Namaste.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Take care.